Hi everyone. So in this video, let's work on the Redis. So we have two things, TypeORM, Postgres and Redis. For Postgres, we have used TypeORM for the Redis. Also, we are going to write a Nestjs module and a service. So what we will do, Redis service.ts, and we will create a Redis module.ts. Okay, we'll write a code. Redis module, we will remove the existing code which uses the Redis client. So Redis module and Redis service. In Redis service, we are going to initialize the Redis connection, right? So inside the Redis module, it is simple. It is going to use a config module to get the Redis host and port. So Redis service will be a very simple setup. It will have a same injectable, and it will be just a simple ES6 class. It's like a same service as any other service which we have written. So inside this export class, Redis implements on module init, because in this Redis service we also need to connect to the Redis client. We need to access the Redis client. So there are two different ways. Either you can write some code inside a constructor, so whenever the class gets initialized, it gives you the Redis client instance, or you can use on module init, which provides a method on module init. So using that also you can install this, and we are going to install the Redis module first of all. And inside this we can just write async, just a method which can help us to connect to the Redis. So first of all, on module init, inside this function, we can write a code, helper code, which can help us to connect to the Redis. Or we can also write a constructor. So constructor will give us the config service, and inside this Redis URL we are going to get from the config service. That is important because it's a dynamic. We are going to get a Redis URL from the config service. This dot client equal to create client. Create client is already a part of Redis. Okay, guys, let's fix the typo here. Redis client type. Okay, we got the client instance, and then we can just check on client dot on connect. If there is an error while connecting to the client, we can just log that or await this client.connect. You can also write this code inside a constructor, but I want to avoid it. On module init is actually a specific way to initialize the service. And this is actually lifecycle method, which can help us to, you want to bootstrap something before instantiating the object of the class, you can do it on module init. And then there is a last method we have is get client. So at runtime, we can also call get client method of this class, this dot client. So we can get this Redis client instance from directly here. Now we need to change the Redis URL. Redis URL will have a Redis localhost 6379, and we will just introduce a Redis module. If you are trying to add a HTTP or something, obviously it won't work, right? When you do npm run start, it will break. So what you need to do, you need to fix that Redis URL. So here you can see unknown protocol. Yeah. So you need to just change the environment variable to Redis and npm run start. We have added a Redis module in the app module already. You can see domain module and Redis module. So now we can check if we are able to connect to the Redis or not. We are already able to connect to the database, right? So we will just do the check with the Redis. We are able to connect. That is the two things. Second thing we have done, right? Connecting to the database and connecting to the Redis. So this is like our basic foundation setup is done. Now we can start writing the controllers, middlewares, guards, auth service and auth module or user module for that.